Welcome to the sustainability series where men didn't just get back in charge, they stayed in charge. Now, most health transformations, they don't last. Between 80 and 95% of people will regain the weight within 2 years. But the men you're going to meet here, they've beaten those odds. Not in the perfect environments, but in the real world, whilst working, traveling, raising families, and carrying the pressure that comes with being responsible for so much. Today, I'm joined by Mark Hulf, who completed the Back in Charge blueprint 2.5 years ago. And he has kept his results, his routines, and his identity shift ever since. The conversation isn't about what happened during the program, it's about what's happened after. How he's handled stress, setbacks, travel, work demands, and still stayed in charge of his health, his energy, and his life. So let's get into it. Mark, how are you?
Yeah, very well, very well.
Good. So, Mark, before we what I want you to do is I want us to go back, before you started the program. Okay. I just want to remember back. What was happening in your life when you started to realize that something just was starting to slip and that you needed to make a change?
Yeah, I just come through a divorce, and I was working from home a lot. So my working had changed from being quite active to working from home, sitting down, and you end up, as I call it, grazing from the fridge. You're just eating all day. You think it's healthy, but it's not. And I was out for a walk one day, nothing, just walked to the shops, and I was walking up an incline and I was out of breath. And I thought, wow, geez. And so I went home, and you stand in front of the mirror, prodding your chest, thinking the worst. What's that under there? And it's no growth or nothing bad. It's just fat. It's yeah. And so that's when I contacted you. Obviously, I'd done boot camps with you in the UK a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a lifetime ago. That was, wasn't it? Yeah.
And I'd seen what you do, and I thought, wow, now's the time I've got to do something, because not getting younger. And it's not simple. Everyone thinks it's simple. It is simple to lose weight and fitness when you've got the right guidance, but unless you're a professional, we all need the guidance. It's simple to turn around and say, oh, just cut your calories and exercise, but you need the guidance, someone like yourself, and you need someone to report to, really. So you can't, well, we can all cheat. It's because the whole thing, I never met you, did I? Everything was done online. So if you want to cheat, you cheat. It's up to you, but you're cheating yourself. But we need someone to report to, because it makes us feel good, really, to tell you what achievements you've made and little things like that. And because if you haven't made them, I've got to report back to you. So it gives you the encouragement. That's what it is, I think.
Yeah, nice. So it sounded like what was going on was quite a stressful situation, wasn't it? There was a lot going on in your life before you started. You just come out of a divorce, and then you was working at home as well. That's a challenge. And then, like you said, is that you were grazing. You was just eating throughout the day, just like I said, grazing on anything and everything. And then, but the main thing was noticing that just that walk up that incline, you're like, oof, okay, what you could normally do, is actually a bit of your normal day to day. Just a walk was actually quite challenging.
Out of breath. I was not terrible, but I'm thinking, wow, jeez.
Yeah. That's like the words, isn't it? It's like, wow. It's like, oof, okay. So you decided to reach out, which was, I remember that. Okay, so for you, it's before you did the Back in Charge blueprint, and I know that you used to, we used to do some work together, when I was in the UK years and years ago. But had you tried anything to lose weight? Before the Charge blueprint.
My whole life is sort of one of those people where you do fitness, you join the gym. When I know, actually, before I contacted you, I joined a gym, near where I live, and yeah, you go, but it's boring. I find it boring, and then the weather gets bad, and any reason not to go, any reason. And I'm not the only one like this. And I like food. This is another thing.
We all do.
And so yeah, I've been in, like when I was going to your boot camps before, I was doing really well. We were doing those 10K, what were they called? They're mud run things. And then you slip, you've only got to get a cold, and then suddenly you slip off, you don't go back to you forget your routines. That's the problem. And I've been like that my whole life, really.
Yeah. Like in cycles, right? That's what you were like beforehand, yeah? You're always going through these cycles.
Yeah.
And I think most guys can resonate with that. Like they do something, like you said, you go to the gym, or you go to a personal trainer, or you're doing something, and then something happens. Oh, like you said, I could just get a cold. And then something slips, and then like you're then back in that cycle again.
Yeah, and you feel guilty because you haven't been, and then you think, oh, geez, and you're out of it. Where you really, like now, you just snap back into something, and you get back into it because you've learned the habits and things to do.
Nice. So previously, like with these attempts for you to improve, like how long would you say that, like just remembering back, like how long would you say that you was actually doing, like actually in the action phase? Because that I call it two different phases. Remember we call it the action phase of you progressing and doing what needs to be done, or we call it the, excuse my French, the fuck it phase. Like for you, it's like, how long would you normally have stayed in the action phase for?
Yeah, well, before the divorce, I was very active because I was traveling to London, and my job was quite, what's the word, active. Quite an active job, on your feet all day. And then, obviously then the pandemic come along and everything else. And suddenly you've gone from a very active lifestyle to just working from home online, which is, it's a good business, but you don't get any exercise. And I don't know exact time scale, but I think that was the biggest thing for me. Yeah. Gone from being very active to doing nothing.
Yeah, the change of roles, the shift in life as well, right? Yeah. Again, that 2020 to 22 really has changed so many people's lifestyles.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, my lifestyle's changed for the better. When I look back, the worst time of my life, not just for divorce, but business and everything else, but I'm in a much better place now, much better. And obviously the health has helped that as well.
Nice. So we're just going to touch on it briefly, but what was your experience like of the Back in Charge blueprint? And, like what surprised you the most about the program?
It works.
Is that what surprised you?
Well, I knew it would work because obviously I contacted you, and it is an investment. But good things are, you have to look at it. It's an investment. It's an investment to help you live longer, be healthier, and be happy. It's, nothing, as we say, nothing is free in life. It's not. So it's an investment, and it's worth every penny I spent. Obviously, when I had the initial conversation, I had an idea what it would be, and it was. But it's, I would say, the best money I've spent. As I said at the beginning, we all know what we need to do to lose weight, but unfortunately, when it's not our profession, fitness, you need someone to guide you. Actual people. You can do it on your own for a short time, but to do it long term, I think you do need the good basic beginning, which is what you give.
That's it. Nice. And like for you, like, what was the biggest like internal shift for you in the program?
Well, that you lose weight and you're happier, not just because of the weight loss, but you're taught all the different skills. You do it very cleverly. The course is cleverly done, because obviously you start, and the first week is quite simple because it's just being sensible and introduce some steps, but you're just waiting for that week when you suddenly wow, how many steps am I going to have to do this week? But it all went very smoothly. Nothing really shocked me. And it's very flexible. That's the biggest thing. You know, you don't turn around and say, right, you can only eat this. Or, you know, you've got to run every day. There's no way I would run now. I used.
Oh, just lost Mark just briefly there. 2 secs.
There you go.
And he's back in the room. It's the Wi-Fi in Cyprus for you.
But sorry, I've forgotten where I was.
Like you're saying about how it's introduced, like the steps, it runs
smoothly. Yeah, you know, you don't tell us, you advise us what to eat. You need protein, you should be drinking so much water. And obviously, you know, there's someone to learn all this from, to ask questions if you're not sure. But also you don't tell us you have to run, because I'm not going to run now. It's not going to happen. And, you know, or if you don't tell us exactly what we have to do, you just say that you want an extra half hour of exercise, something that we enjoy that we're doing. And I just extended my walking, to be honest. That's how I did it, because I enjoy the walking. Is it easy? I suppose. Yeah. I don't do it because it's easy. I do it because I enjoy it. It gets me out. It gets you. I've tried walking all different times of the day, and I find that the morning is best for me. Nice. Just get up, go out, do your walking, whether you listen to the radio or chat on the phone. I can't chat with many people when I'm in Cyprus, so can I? Because of the time difference.
The time difference. That's it. That is it.
That's what I do. And every day I walk. I don't know. On average, it's about 10 kilometers I do. Nice. Every day. 5-6 days a week.
Yeah. Nice. That's really, really good. Really good. So apart from like, you know, like you still doing the walking, like what does, like, fast forward to now, like what does life look for you now as compared to previously?
Well, the way I look at it is that I'm giving myself the biggest chance of living as long as possible, because obviously in my family, I mean, my parents, my dad was only 61. I'm 57. My dad was 61. My mum was 59. And obviously I lost them. So does it worry me? No, I can't change what's going to happen, but I can give myself the best chance. And obviously fitness and being healthy is one of the best ones, I would think. You know, I can't predict the future, but I can give myself the best chance. And obviously it's not plain sailing all the way through. When you finish the program, you know, you still have your good times and bad times. I mean, I would say sort of the last quarter last year with holidays and being in Cyprus and things like this, you tend to slip a little bit, but you know how to get back into it. That is, you don't let it slip too far, and you know how to get back into it. You know, it's like, you know, I reordered my protein powders and things like this because you stressed how important protein is in your diet. And you start eating the foods that contain the protein, and you just know how to get back into it. You know, I mean, obviously I have had, when you think, oh, I've put a few pounds on or a couple of kilos, but in the scheme of things, it's nothing, because you can get back where you were and you know how to do it.
Yeah, nice. Because that's what I was going to lead on to, was like, how have you dealt with challenges now? But it sounds that now it's like you're aware of them now, and you know what to do to get them back before it slips too much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't go back to measuring my waist and my arms and everything like this, but we all know when we've put a few kilos on, because that, you know, I went from wearing standard t-shirts to slim fit. I'm never going to be slim like you, Adam, but I was much slimmer and I could wear a slim fit and it felt good. But as soon as you put a few kilos on, that slim fit's uncomfortable. We all know that. So you can tell. And then obviously you get on the scales and you can see, but you know how to crack straight back into it. And it is what you taught us to do. everything from them cold showers. They're quite tough in the winter, the cold. I still find that quite tough.
Especially are in Cyprus, aren't they? They're tough in Cyprus. You know, everyone goes, "Oh yeah, but you live in Cyprus; it's easy." It's not in the winter.
Yeah, that cold water's cold, believe me. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. So yeah. But also, there's something else I really liked. What you said was, you know, it's like, you know, you can't predict your future, but you can make the things. What was it you said about that? You can control. You can make yourself in the best condition possible. I think that's something around what you said, wasn't it?
You can give your. None of us know our futures. None of us.
That's it. No.
But we can give ourselves the best chance, and health and diet is one of them. You know, so I can't do any more. You know, and I've got kids, I've got family,
That's
and
right.
that's what you think about.
Yeah.
You know?
Nice.
So,
Nice.
but no, yeah, it's brilliant. The course.
Good. So tell me, like, what else has improved apart from the health? Like, but what else has improved outside of like your health, like work, energy, confidence, and relationships?
Yeah, I mean, it is everything. It does help you with dealing with stress because work that can get quite stressful, to be honest. And it gives you a totally different outlook on life, and it's hard to explain, but you can control your day more, and you get the balance between work. I used to work all the time. I still work hard, like all of us, but I would not. I would, if an email come in, I would have to answer it. Whereas now it gets to a time and that's it. Unless it's ultra important, I just leave it for the next day. You have to get that work-life balance, and I think that's what's important. But it does help you deal with stress and things like this. It's I've still lost my hair, but yeah, it is. It works. It works. Relationships. Yeah, I've never had trouble with relationships. It's just keeping them. But I'm happy. I'm in a very good place now. Yeah.
Good. That's good. That's good. So it's actually helped you put in some boundaries as well for you.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Nice. And like the people around you, like how would you describe how would they describe the difference that they've seen in you, like over the last 2.5 years?
Well, you obviously you look better because you've lost weight. But I mean, obviously, it gives you more energy. You've got more energy with the kids, and things like this. You're more confident. You're just happier in yourself. If you've lost your weight, you've achieved something. If you've achieved something, you're happy. It all goes together, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And how do you find like because you know, like you're in Cyprus and your children are in Poland. Like, how are you finding? Because that could be quite stressful in itself by having that distance. Like, how do you manage that stress sometimes of having the family in a different country? And that was me that time.
You're back on the other side.
I'm back. Yeah. So
it's always. I mean, that's what I've always known. Though I've always travelled when I was. Obviously, I was traveling between London and Poland before. And obviously then after the pandemic, I decided to stay in Poland with the family. And then obviously I live half and half now. So I live half in Cyprus and half in Poland. And it's really for the children I'm there. So I haven't been used to anything else really. The course, the back in charge course, it does help you to deal with that. I get on fine, really, to be honest. I have the best of both worlds, the cold of Poland and the heat in Cyprus.
Yeah, nice. Good. You go there to cool off and then you come here to warm up.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. So cool. And also finally, like Mark, like for men that are watching or listening who feel stuck and out of control, like what would you want them to know?
To give you a call. Trust the process. Give you a call. It works. It does work. Just give you a call, and like I did, then you take it from there. You just have to trust it. It does work. It's, as I've always said, it isn't rocket science. I don't mean that rudely, but it's not. But you need someone to talk you through the process and to be there, really.
That's it. Yeah, because if I remember rightly, like like when we first spoke, like you joined the program, but I remember like you said about that you told your mate that you joined the program, and he was like, "Why are you spending money on that?" And I think that's what, like, again, it's like, why? Like, because that's for some people, they're like, well, why do I want to spend money on losing weight when all you got to do is eat less and move more?
Yeah, but that is all you got to do. But if it's that simple, we wouldn't have any overweight people, would we? It's like anything. It's the best money you've spent, really, because you feel so much better in yourself, and the money you've spent has enabled you to work harder. I'm not saying work longer hours, but more productive in your work, and you earn more money because your head's clearer, you're happy, and you make the right decisions. Not every decision's right, but you make more right decisions. So you're just more productive. So the money you pay, it's worth, all the people that say, why do you want to spend money? But they're most probably the ones smoking the cigarettes every day, going to the pub every day. They don't think about, if they worked out how much they spent, it's a fraction. It's a lot more than the program.
Nice. Well, Mark, thank you. Yeah, thank you for just sharing your journey. Again, it's great talking to you. And again, like you said about walking, and I remember like you saying about walking, it's like you just increased the amount, but you didn't just increase the amount of walking you did. If I remember rightly, you was making it harder because you were putting weight in your bag when you was walking as well, weren't you? Yeah, so that's how you increase. Yeah, like, great.
And that's when you realize, like, you've lost 10 kilo. Put 10 kilo in a rucksack and carry it, and you're carrying that around all day long if you don't lose the weight. That's the scary thing.
Yeah, nice. Well, Mark, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So thank you for joining us on this episode of the Sustainability Series. Now, most men, they don't struggle to lose weight. They struggle to keep it off, especially when life is busy, it's stressful, it's unpredictable. What you heard today is proof that long-term change is possible, even for men who once believed that it couldn't be. So now, if something in this conversation resonated, or if you feel like you've been holding everything together for a while, your own health quietly slips away. This is a reminder that you can get back in control and also keep it. Now, I'm Adam Alexander. Thank you for watching the Sustainability Series, where men didn't just get back in charge,